you would just write on top the word, I guess centimeters would be fine. Or they say centimeter scale, and I'll try to draw, I should pull up a little ruler, but I'll draw it here. Your little ruler that I gave you, I believe, goes up to like, well, we're talking centimeters, so give me how many centimeters is that? 15? About 15 or 16 centimeters. So let me cut this into that. See if I can cut this into that. Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'll erase this part I don't really want. Yesterday we talked about, and I suppose I can blow through that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yesterday we talked about how the meter scale you can break into decimals and such. Today the same thing applies for your centimeter scale. Okay? Every centimeter is broken up into 10 smaller parts that we call a
millimeter?
What are the little teeny ones that we talked about yesterday? Millimeters. Every one of these is cut into 10 equal little pieces, and those are millimeters. And you need to know that 10 of those millimeters equals 1 centimeter. Okay? And because a centimeter is broken into 10 equal pieces, I can use decimals to show those. In other words, this. Let's say I have a line. Let's say I have a line that goes out to right about here. Okay? First of all, that line is 9 whole centimeters, right? And then I want to count how many millimeters after it is, which is pretty hard for you to see on my little scale here because I didn't really draw it very well. But if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say that line goes 6 millimeters past there. Instead of me writing it like this, 9 centimeters and 6 millimeters, I can use a decimal for that because a millimeter cuts a centimeter into tenths. So 9 centimeters, 6 millimeters is 9.6 centimeters. Or, if I was doing it just in millimeters, it would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 millimeters. And you need to be able to do both, write things in centimeters and in millimeter scale when they ask you for the length of the line. Okay? Or if I said this, if something is 75 millimeters, how long would that be in centimeters? How long would that be in centimeters? And it's really easy to change. It's not like feet and inches where you have to multiply or divide by 12. This is really simple because 70 millimeters, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 millimeters is 7 whole centimeters. What do I put after that, Aiden?
0.5.
7.5. 7.5 centimeters is 75 millimeters. Let's see how tough the book gets here. Yeah, and then it doesn't even have to be a millimeter centimeters thing. As long as your line, draw yourself a nice little line there. Let's go 0, 1, 2, and then cut each one of those into 10 pieces if you can. To work on your cutting line skills. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's put 5 right there. 5, 1, 2, to write that. Can you do that on your paper? Something close to that. Here is what you must remember. In order to use decimal points, you have to cut things into 10 pieces. So, as long as my line from 0 to 1 is cut into 10 pieces, I can use a decimal to stand for the little pieces in the middle. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which means if I put a point right here and ask you what number does that point to or stand, where is that dot? Okay. It doesn't, you don't just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is not the answer because 6 would be a whole number and that would be way there. The answer there is, Ephraim?
0.6?
Yeah, or just 0.6. You don't have to put that there because that is 6/10. 6/10. Or if I pointed right here at this dot right there, what number would that be? Liam?
1.2.
No, it's only 1 over. That's 1 over 2 over b right there. 1.1. 1 whole unit and 1/10 of the other. Okay? But let me emphasize this again to you. If I had this line right here, and this went from 0 to 1, and this was only cut into 4 pieces, and I put a decimal there, you cannot say that that is 0.3. Why? Because this needs to be cut into 10 pieces. Decimals cut things into tenths. Okay. The fraction here would be 3/4, but that certainly isn't 0.4 as a decimal. So only when you get a line or something that's cut into 10 equal pieces can you do that. So make sure you're aware of that. How about this? What does this point to? What number is that right there, Brody?
1.9.
1.9. And that's why the metric system is your friend. It's because the metric system cuts everything into tenths, and tenths are so easy to remember. Our whole number system is based on 10. Why? Because we have 10 digits, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, take a look in your book, please, at page 420. Page 420. And take out whatever measuring device you have. Look at letter C and measure, and it says to give the measurement both in centimeters and millimeters. Letter C, that segment, that little line for letter C there, measure that with your centimeter/millimeter thing and give me both measurements for letter C. How long is it in centimeters and how long is it in millimeters? When you have centimeters, you're probably going to have a decimal point there because however many more millimeters than an even centimeter it is has to go in the decimal thing there. Hopefully yours is close to mine. First of all, let's count how many millimeters that was. Ethan, how many millimeters?
25.
Beautiful. Make sure you label that. It's 25 millimeters, and 25 millimeters is how many centimeters, Jonah?
2.5.
2.5. You are catching on. How about letter D? Measure that paper clip. The paper clip for letter D. I'll do my best paper clip. Mr. Paperclip is Brady?
1.2.
Oh, let's get millimeters first. No, you're measuring the width. You're measuring the length, not the width,
Oh,
I believe. Well, according to that's what my book is. I guess it wasn't really clear, but how long is it? The length of it. We'll give you another shot, Brady. In millimeters. In millimeters. Sam, are we on the right page? What's going on with Brady over there?
Please.
From here to here, Brady, from here to here. Has to be bigger than point something. That's bigger than the one we just measured, isn't it?
25.
Well, that looks like, sounds like letter C. Isn't that line longer than letter C?
Paper.
Isn't the paper clip longer than letter C?
Or 30.
30, is it a little bit longer than 30?
Yeah.
30, doesn't go past the little 30 point. 30 what? How many after the little 3 there?
32.
Alright, I'll go with 32. 32 is fine, although my book says 33.
It says 30. I got you.
32 millimeters, which would be, Kevin, how many centimeters? 32 millimeters is how many centimeters?
3.2.
There you go. Now we're cooking with Brady. And letter E, how about that dime? The diameter of that dime would be diameter of the dime. Uh-oh. Don't like that look, Lily. The diameter, Braden, of the dime,
18 millimeters.
that is exactly,
And 1.8 centimeters.
there you go, 18 millimeters and 1.8 centimeters. Notice that every one of them, same letters, you just have or same numbers, you just have a decimal point in there. How about letter F? Let's quickly go through this. What number is letter F pointing to? John? It's down below. It's on that number line.
0.1.
Point 1, Ronnie, letter G.
0.9.
Point 9, letter H. Kendall. Letter H. 1.5. Bam. Letter I. Ephraim.
Is 2.2.
2.2. Letter J. Garrett.
2.8.
2.8. And letter K. Uh-oh, Brody.
3.4.
3.4. You have thus nailed it. Well done. You are good.